And they be like with like trucks, trucks come from the west of with cows, like trucks and trucks in the land of cows going to graze. Then the people in the north in the land just be there, baby, like. Then the people in the north just be there, baby, like. What are we supposed to do? You guys, we have no one who's speaking for us. No one is answering me. You guys giving me an explanation. No one is answering me. No one is giving me an explanation. I'm reading about land. I'm reading about what, trying to come up with an explanation before I post this video. But we are all just there. By the time we have to wake up. We have to wake up. Like, this is crazy. You guys, I am sinless is here joining. How are you, Sibyl?
Nabadde ndowooza wambulokinga.
Another saku blocking. Abana bantiisiza, abana bangambye nti they are going to come for me. Nti bichi.
Abana gye bagenda kujja because yesterday we are training on Twitter. Naye nkunoonya nga ndaba ninga ono omukazi ate kati ye namukola ki?
Nedda abana bantiisiza nga bakubira mama wange essimu ez'okumukumu.
Nga baazijjeewa.
Ebintu biwanvu. Naye byakwetiisa muffe si nti muntu wa waggulu yeyezze biki tedda byakwetiisa muffe.
Yeah, because yesterday abantu bakupostinze nnyo ku Twitter. Omanyi abantu baffe obwongo bunafu. So kakati bwe wagenze no breakinga ssente ze babanja Uganda trillion bikyako ka video. Ke kasinze okutrendinga.
Ka video ako kabaddemu mistake. Ka video ako nze nakola accounting and finance at campus. Naye obimanyi ebya campus in Uganda. Me, I was in Casablanca. I was in where? So I wasn't really. So when I spent like the whole night, I spent 24 hours working on that, reading. That budget is 44 pages long and the background to the budget is 250 pages long. So I spent the whole night working on that. And then I put all the digits in the Excel and I missed, and on one thing I put an extra 0 instead. People were sending me messages. How could you? I said, yo, I'm doing these things as I go. It was an extra 0 with shit. But anyway, I first was like, let me.
Naye ekyo kirungi nti wakutta attention y'abantu. Omanyi bw'olaba ebintu ebibadde bigenda mu maaso e Nairobi. Kyavudde mu bantu kutandika ekisooka kyavudde bantu kutandika kugamba mumanyi ebintu bino bitegeera obulungi tulina okubissa mu lulimi lwemukolaki lwemutegeera. Kakati ewaffe oluzungu tebalutegeera era kati kyova olaba kati olw'okuba omuwendo gw'abantu abategeera ku luzungu bangiko kati batandise okulwanyisa baleete Pan-Africa. Anti nze omanyi am not a Pan-Africanist. Kakati batandise okuleeta Swahili. Oluzungu lwennyini tebalutegeera. Kati ate batandise okukakatika Oluswahili ku baki. Togamba nti balumirirwa East African integration, which I also don't support, by the way. Nze kankubuulire. Naye kwegamba bwe wabadde onnyonnyola information ya budget. Kyaleetedde abantu bangi okutandika obwongo okutandika. So whether you got it right or not, the fact is you did a great job. Abantu ne batandika okukunoonya. So I think trying to make people that okay, this is exactly whatever these people say, this is what it means. Ndowooza abantu baffe ekyo kye batanategeera. Kati gwe kiwabadde breaking it down and you really did a good job. Kuba kati nange netwala nti setwala naye netwala nti ndi mumanyi. Ebintu bingi mbimanyi. Naye abasajja abo ebikolobero bye batukozeeko
bingi
bindeetera n'obutaddeawo okulowooza nti oba ntunule ku budget. Kirwakuba nti sijja kugitegeera. Naye budget nze ne budget y'abo abatumbaavu saawa eno sigimanyi. Kaakati gwe bwe watandise ojjoogerako eyabadde atambula ebigere nga 8 natandise okumira nga okay kanda bijjukira wano kyakola ki. So you really scored. Gwe oyinza okuba tonna kitegeera. But you really scored. You really did a good job, and we need more people to break down these figures and policies for people to understand if they are to wake up.
Abantu abali eyo, if you know you're sitting on information, jangu mutugambe. You tell us these things. just beera ku Twitter gy'obeera Facebook TikTok opening a page oteekeyo ebintu abantu bategeere. Because we cannot do this job without the right tools. We need the right information.
So wakoze omulimu munene era waliwo abakunoonya ka group bakayita ki agro kali batoka abo. It's akakulemberwa oyo nakyala munamateeka ababadde bapushing campaign ya exhibitionist. Era obadde buli omu ndaba bannaye, how do we get in contact with this lady? How do we get in contact with this lady? So in any way, yeah, bakayita Agora. Please reach out to them. Those are people with the real information. They have the source of information you need. Banonye ku Twitter, babayita Agora. It's a group of like 4 or 5 individuals. Obedde babuuza, where are you? How can we get? So especially the lady called Agatha. Yeah? Yeah, it's a group of 4 or 5 people. Olaba waliwo abo abali mu biku kugundi. Yeah. So you did a good job. You caught their attention and you took them by surprise. You know, it's not easy to get people's attention, but you did. So that's a good job. That's the spirit. And regardless of my disagreeing with your Pan-Africanism, I salute.
Omani, let me tell you, borders is ino. Borders is zaffe. As Africans, we need to unite. Kati kankugamba.
Okay, kati kankubuuza ekibuuzo kimu ng'ogenda okunziramu. Do you understand why I disagree with Pan-Africanism?
I understand why you disagree. Kubanga ba Museveni baze ne bayingira Pan-Africanism and they disturbed it. Ne bagipamamu. And they made it seem like, yeah, but the core of it is that we are one.
That's what it should be.
We are one. We shouldn't allow them to spoil the name of Pan-Africanism. Fe tutandika okujja okubagamba that we are one and these borders are not ours. Byebya Pan-Africanism byemukola, it doesn't make sense. Katubalage what real Pan-Africanism is. That's what we need to do. Kati nabadde ntunuulira map. Map ya East Africa ku Google Maps. Ngendo laba borders zino weziri. First of all, they put the borders right on natural bodies. So bagenda ne basanga like a lake or like a mountain, and they cut that lake or that mountain in half, and they say this side is Uganda, this side is Congo. And our people, remember, used to congregate around lakes. Kati ngaba kakwa eyo tribe ya Idi Amin, they split them up into 3 countries. Bagenda South Sudan, bagenda Congo, bagenda Uganda. So how can you kati now the tribes of like southwestern Uganda, Abakonjo, Abafumbira, those people are the same people in Congo. They speak the same languages. Kusaideri kati Chidepo National Park, even in Sudan, waliyo Chidepo National Park. So those lines are stopping us from seeing the full picture.
Nze my problem.
Negundi Kenya waliyo abagisu.
My problem.
Waliyo abasembeyi.
My problem is not the groups of people that Kenya liaba. That's not my problem. My problem is simple. Why is it that people claiming to protect the black person, people claiming to have the interest of the black person, wherever they've had power, we are suffering. Today as we speak now, we don't have a single white president in Africa. Why do we have African refugees all over the world? That's as simple as that. Why do we have refugees? Why do our children, our brothers, our sisters die on the seas crossing to Europe when there isn't a single European Union member of Parliament in Africa? Oh, kwegambo kiraba kyenkulaga naye ngenda kuleka abalala boogere saagala kutwala shoyo. But regardless, you did a good job. We celebrate you. You've given us, you've challenged us. You've challenged us, so we need to rethink the coordinates. I mean, you are shaking the apathy. Ndowooza ekyo kyekigambo. Apathy. Okay, nja kuddamu kkubira waliwo ankubidde. Beera bulungi.
So you guys, the invaders came and they found the people with bad manners, the people who are willing to sell their brothers and sisters, the people who are looking for shortcuts. Those are the people they gave power to. So they gave power to the people who just didn't have the spirit of Ubuntu. You people, even me, I'm colonized. Nange, I can't think in Luganda, I think in English. So by the time I think and then I translate the thing into Luganda, we tetugenda kuvao. But I have to tell you the way the thing comes because we were all taught in English. So anyways, they have sold our country to the invaders. At first it was colonialism. Nibajanga invaders but then people chased them out. Freddie Moore, all of those people fought and they chased away the invaders. And the invaders found people who didn't have the spirit of Ubuntu. Those are the people that they gave power to. The people who are willing to do shortcuts. Those are the people we have in place now, the puppets. So when we are fighting, we have to remember that it's not Ruto. Ruto is goalpost number 1. The real goalpost is getting out of colonialism, getting out of neo-colonialism. We have to free ourselves. We are looking for independence. So we always have to keep it in mind. Ruto is just a puppet. Sevo is just a puppet. Bona, they are just puppets. Ramaphosa, who, Bona. So, yeah, Elijah, how are you? Let's have a discussion.
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you doing? Yeah, it's quite interesting that you've come up with these kind of platforms. I mean, we are always there and we always want to join these platforms on TikTok. So I was amazed that you came up with this budget thing that you showed Ugandans. I mean, it looks like Ugandans, we are not quite like informed about these things because we have this feeling that we don't like our government and they have done all this kind, so we don't get involved in politics and all this kind of stuff. So it was amazing that you came up with this kind, and I also looked at your video and I was like, oh really, yeah, we need to know these kind of things. And maybe the other things I should say is that we also need to educate Ugandans. I mean, we need to explain to them that this is what it means especially when the budget, because so many Ugandans don't know English.
Yeah.
So we need to explain to them like in their local languages. I feel like we can do this. We can come up with different platforms on TikTok and then we can always explain in different languages about what's happening.
Yeah, that's what people think. Dangia, we're meeting. A lot of people in my videos, they keep telling me do the videos in Luganda. But me, you guys, when you see my things, if you feel inspired, translate them on your own. I am translating, I am doing the research, I am doing the numbers, you get. We need more people. If you see the video there, just translate it on your own. Chikube munga jingo. Just translate it, put a cover on it, do whatever you need to do and send it out there.
Yeah, and the other thing, maybe, I'm sorry to interject you, and the other thing people should know there, if you're on my For You and everybody, like when we come up with these kind of things and explain to the country about the awareness, about the politics that is happening, it's not like we are against the government. Actually, me, I don't have a party that this is my party, you know. I'm just patriotic about my country. We want to have these good services, better services. We want to have good democracy and things run very well. But it's not like I'm against the party or I'm against this government. But if there is any government that can come up with these kind of policies, I think I would go with that. Like, this is what this is what Ugandans we need. We need services. We need systems working, institutions working.
Yeah, so now, in Uganda, the average age is like 25. If you're above 25, you are the elder. You are the elder. We don't have elders. So if you're 26, 27, you are the elder. You are the one who's supposed to be coming up with the systems. You're the one who's supposed to be coming up with making the political parties. You're the one who's supposed to be writing these policies. You're the one who's supposed to be, like how you be at home and they've left you in charge of the kids. We are the ones who are supposed to do those things. No matter what, no matter where you are, if you're in the village, if you drive a taxi, if you're a shamba boy, if you're a house girl, you are the one. There is no one who's coming for us. We are not getting a hero. Someone was asking at Bobby Wine, he's starting from where he is. He's using what he has. He's doing what he can. And if we keep leaving this job to him, that's how people get corrupted. Because your people are not there telling you, hey guy, me I had this. So all of us are supposed to jump in and we make sure they don't catch us bamboozled again. When you're sleeping, me I'm awake. When you're awake, me I'm sleeping. You keep watch. You'll be like, did you see the budget? I'll be like, hey, did you see this other bill? I'll be like, did you see this one? Everyone has to see from where they are. No one is coming. Jetuli, that's it. This is what we have. This is like, if you're scared, if you're tired, if you're broke, if you're hungry, if you're uneducated, you don't speak English, you don't speak Luganda. That is what we have.
And this concerns like everybody. It doesn't mean that me, I'm living in the US, me, I'm living in London. It doesn't concern me. My family is not there. Like, I mean, it concerns everybody. I mean, we should just get involved in the politics. I mean, our generation, we are so brilliant, but it's like, me, I see like we Ugandans are maybe, I don't want to say our president, but the government is like they've undermined our democracy. Now, me, I have a degree in international relations and law. I'll be somewhere working with the embassy because I have this knowledge and I have these skills on how to deal with international corporations. But I don't, the systems are not really working that I can use my knowledge.
In London, no matter how smart you are, no matter how intelligent you are, no matter how, they have made our country into a place of sin. That to do anything, you have to know someone, you have to take a shortcut, you have to steal from someone, you have to do what? Intelligence is not valued. Hard work is not valued. No, we have to hate corruption more than anything. We have to hate these shortcuts. You can be brilliant. Me, I've met people who are so smart. Doctors everyone is running away from home. There is nothing that you can do. They have made these things so bad. And Sevo thinks he's a king. He doesn't believe in democracy. He thinks the country is his. That's why he keeps on saying he's our grandfather. And he thinks the country is his and he's doing us a favor by allowing us to live there. And to prosper in Uganda, you have to win his favor. And he allows you, okay, let me give you a ministry. Okay, let me give you this department. And you cannot function like that. You need to put people where they belong on merit. And you say, this is the smartest doctor. Okay, you're in charge of the Ministry of Health. This is the smartest teacher. Okay, you're in charge of Ministry of Education. He's just giving away things for free because he thinks it's his things to give away. And also, as we've sat and told him, yo, this is our inheritance. These are our things. These are our things. You are not a king. You need to do your time and go. Do your time and go. It's not forever. It's not forever things. So, guys, anyway, Dangira, how are you?
I think he's having the problem with his echo.
Yo, you guys,
Yeah, but I mean, Ugandans, we need to just wake up, and because I know so many of you have knowledge, you have like you're experienced. I mean, we should come up with this kind of democracy. I feel like Kenya is above us. I don't want to say that we should copy in Kenya, but you know, Uganda has also come from far. I mean, I feel like this is my opinion, that the president has undermined our democracy and constitutional rights in Uganda, that I feel like Ugandans are so drained, you know. I know that so many Ugandans are very hard working, but the systems have failed them. It's the systems that are failing so many Ugandans, but I know so many Ugandans are very hardworking people. They wake up very early in the morning and they go to look for something to eat. But because of the systems are failing us, so we need to just come up and we need to create awareness. And also we need to create awareness in the churches. So many politicians use these they go in churches, they tell them different things. So we need we need also to go in churches. We get platforms there. We create the awareness to the Ugandans and we tell them this is what it is, this is so. And also this kind of bribe thing, I mean, we should stop the corruption. Corruption actually starts with us Ugandans. I mean, it starts from your home. I mean, you don't need a lot of money to live a good life. Why do you have to have an expensive car? Why do you have to have an expensive, we should change this mentality.
They caught that lady, that MP, with 1 billion Uganda shillings in her house. 250,000 US dollars in her house. What do you need that much money for? You don't have a hospital in the district you represent. You don't have schools, you don't have roads, but you have a quarter of a million US dollars in your house.
You know, thank you so much, Jukira. I want to tell my fellow youth, there is only one thing and they are forgetting. And by the way, your name brings it out so well and clearly. I'm telling you that time is going to come nga tujjukira ebiseera bye twalina okukola kye tuteekeddwa okukola ne tutakikola. To be honest, everyone alowooza nti Jukira yalina okwogera, Bobi Wine yalina okwogera, and the so-called elite or the so-called politicians or the so-called whatever. But Uganda is for all of us. If I can't be free, if the systems are not working, we are all affected the same, whether you have a PhD, whether you have UK English, whether you're deep in the village, if all systems are not working, we are all going to suffer the same consequences. It doesn't matter whether I'm in US, whether you are where or where, it doesn't matter. Exactly. But the youth of today have forsaken their rights. Everyone is looking, let us wait to see what Jukira is saying. Everyone is praising Jukira is smart, is what, but we can all do this, because we are all at the wall. We have all been pushed to the wall. And we are seeing this. It's not only you, Jukira, that you are seeing these things. We are all seeing what is happening.
These things.
We are seeing.
We are just.
But we are cowards. That's all. We are cowards.
We are looking for a hero.
We are cowards, and then we expect Bobi Wine, one person, to come and fight for 45 millions of people. It defeats my understanding. And if someone comes up and says, really, are we really blind? Are we seeing what? Actually, Elijah was right. It's not all about which party is ruling, who is in the chair, or whatever. It is about services and the systems working properly. Without this, corruption is at the, I don't know, even I don't have the term for the corruption of these days in my country. I even don't have it.
They are saying Susu, Mbu, steal from Ugandans, share with Ugandans. They're trying to rebrand the corruption.
And it is a norm. We take it as a norm, a normal thing. It is very normal. Someone steals and someone is saying, it's okay, you also go and say, really? That is what we want our country to turn to. The day will come, our sons and grandsons will judge us so harsh. History will judge us. They will ask us, what were you doing when all these things happened? How did we reach here?
Exactly.
How did we reach here? Everyone will say, I went to school, I have PhD, I did whatever. What does it help us? Speaking good English, when we are thinking the country is going, what does it help us? Really, it defeats my understanding.
Especially people in the diaspora. People in the diaspora, Museveni agenda basangawa. Get your camera and speak. Tell our people the things that they need to know. Do something. People in the diaspora, Ugandans in the diaspora, have PhDs, they have masters in public health, they are doctors, but in the north, nodding disease has been killing people for years. There is no Ugandan doctor here who has been like, I'm going to take it upon myself with my masters in public health to do this as my thesis. This is going to be my thesis. I'm going to go and research what that is. There is no person who has sat down and told us, guys, as a Ugandan, I have my degree in agriculture. I work in Arizona. Let me tell you what GMOs are. There is no one who has sat down to educate us. We are all sitting. We just wait for December. Then we go back to Uganda as Basama. But you're going to go back to Uganda. You're going to neglect those systems. You will be on the road in Masaka going to your home. You will have an accident. That's when you remember we don't have EMS. We don't have ambulances. You see how the system eats you like that. The politics eats you like that. You think you don't do politics. You don't do what? When it comes for you. You have your grandpa falls, breaks a hip. There is no orthopedic surgeon in the whole country. But you're in Germany, you're like, me, I don't care. Me, I'm in Germany. Me, I'm a German citizen. But your grandfather is at home now. He has a broken hip. Now he's going to die. Because we don't have hospitals. We don't have x-rays. We don't have CT scans. You've chosen to ignore.
And there is one thing that we have forgotten. These people want us in that situation where we are, that we can't speak up. They totally want us to be quiet. They don't want anyone to come up to let those who are blind see that really our country is thinking. They don't want to hear anyone saying, wake up. They don't want to hear anything. I've realized one thing. Not those who are so much smart or elite come up to speak up. Honestly speaking. Because we're not the smartest, we're not the most bright, we're not, but you feel like it is touching you because I'm a Ugandan before anything else. You understand? If my country sticks, I will be really judged so harsh that what did I do during that time when my country was going to this worse? Really, Elijah, what did you do? When you have no answer. Yes, I was there, I saw everything happening. What did you do?
And if you're waiting to be the smartest person before you start speaking, you're going to wait until you die. You're not going to get to a point where it's perfect enough to speak. You're not going to get to a point where you're courageous enough to speak. Today is the moment. The neo-colonialism is happening today. This is when it's happening. Whatever you have, it has to be enough. However you are, just come like that. We shall just go. Anyway, Evelyn Abyogede, hi.
Hi guys, how are you? Thank you so much for the live, Madam Jukira.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Take this opportunity to thank everybody for contributing so much towards change. Like I always tell people that change is a collective responsibility. I want to call upon all people from different departments, from different areas, all Ugandans. I want us to be united. If we must change anything, it must start from our responsibility towards whatever that we want to change. I have a feeling that we've always wanted these things to change, but somewhere, somehow, some people lack the courage, some people lack the will. It's only will that is going to drive us towards change. I have a feeling that we have all seen how the healthcare industry is not good. And we've witnessed all this. We've seen how we do not have adequate medicine. We've seen how government has failed to even pay the medics working in these hospitals and in other health facilities. That this is not going to stop because it has happened for the last 40 years. This is a system that is continuously happening every year and every year. I have a feeling that we must start from where we can. If this is too big for us, then let's start from whatever places that we are. There are some of us that are not abroad, but we are in the country. We can start by fighting politics. By fighting corruption. If you know that you have the potential of fighting a corrupt official, take up space. Do not wait for these politicians that come to request for the votes, and after voting them, they disappear. Please make use of that potential that you have. Take chance of whatever thing that you can in wherever place that you stay. If you are, for instance, a doctor, and you know how the administrative hierarchies of hospitals run, but you know that you might not be the in charge of a certain hospital, but you have the potential of making sure that you have run out of medical supplies. But you are not the person for stock and store, but you can inform the in charge. If they fail to listen, come up. Why do you have to wait for a leader to inform other people, yet you know that the place where you're working, this is not being supplied, and yet you know that the budget clearly states that a certain facility received whatever medical facilities medical supplies that they were meant to get. Let's begin from there. Let's look at the schools. Let's look at whatever service we can. Let's look at the local communities. Let's not wait for these people that are so much comfortable in their air-conditioned offices. Think for us. We are already going a lot as a country. We are already having those thinking services. They have failed to help us. I believe we can help ourselves. let's not wait for these people that are even comfortable stealing. I mean, if somebody comes out and they say, you know, this person steals, but they eat with you. Whatever money they get, they bring back to you. The question is, did we vote you to bring that money that you steal?
Or what did we
Or
ask
we wanted you to become a voice?
Mm-hmm.
Did we ask you to go and steal the money? Because you as a leader, I believe you are responsible to make sure that you fulfill whatever that you promised. If you fail to fulfill at least 30%, please do fulfill at least the 20%. Why must you always think people are going to demand for the service? So you will go back during the remaining years to start bribing them with sugar and soap, because you believe these are elders that have lost hope, that have no voices. But come to think of this, these elders are our mothers.
Yeah.
These are our fathers. I believe there is a lot more we can fix as us, the youths, who still have the potential of working on so many things. If our fathers failed, if our forefathers failed, what about us?
It's our
Should we also fail? Should I tell the same thing to my son to be 10 that I could not work on anything?
We are leaving responsibility for the children.
Hello?
We are hearing you. We are hearing you.
Yeah. So there are certain things we should stop failing to explain to our children, because we feel being guilt trapped of the things that we have failed to fix.
Yes.
I believe there are certain things we can fix in our own responsibilities as mothers, as youths, as people that are still having the potential, people that are still having the hope of trying to find to fix a better Uganda. It begins now. It does not only begin with the energy, also the will. The will to change whatever that we do not believe in. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And just first look at where you are right now. Everyone who's on here. You have like a good 50 years of life in the future. Let's say. You still have like a good 50 years.
Yeah.
This is the same nonsense you want to deal with. Even in 2030, even in 2040, even in 2050. We turn our country into a place where someone's father can just give them the presidency. Then they just be a president because they are someone's son. Then they just be a minister because they are
wasted potential, because we failed to change things that were meant to be changed the time we had the potential.
Ugandans, we wait.
Imagine our children getting such examples.
Yes. Ugandans, we wait until things are too bad. We keep managing.
It's bad. They're actually worse.
But we keep just managing. We keep managing all the nonsense they are giving us, and we just manage, and we just manage, and we just manage things that we could have dealt with like that. In Bolivia, there was an attempted coup, and in one day, everyone got out of their houses and went to the street, and they cancelled those things. They overturned the coup. In one day, everyone was outside. Everyone was like, "What did you say?" But us, we just keep managing. We keep managing, and people whose parents are rich people's kids, whose parents are in the chintu, young people, Gen Z, millennials, and your parents are the ones who are stealing. You guys should be the one talking for us. Your parents are saying, and you're the one here on TikTok, you're seeing the things that we are going through. You're seeing people dying in Oman, dying in Qatar. So it's you who's supposed to tell your dad, Banana, stop stealing. Banana, what if we do this?
You know that some of these children are comfortable with the money being given to them.
Showing off
very much to the extent that they cannot condemn this, because they believe whatever supply that they have been getting financially will be cut off.
As a rich person's kid, you think these things don't affect you because your parents are giving you small millions. They're buying for you an Audi, they're flying you to Dubai, they're doing that. These systems, they're going to come for you. The systems will find you.
They cannot see this because they are short-sighted. They actually believe this will happen over decades. They believe they still have chance to live whatever lavish lifestyle they want, so they obviously cannot condemn whatever their parents are doing.
But
This is quite obvious.
the bad systems are going to change.
Are suffering. This is a Uganda that is so much challenging in a way that somebody will wake up, they want to start up a business, but then some buildings, these commercial buildings in the capital city, in Kampala, are being charged in dollars. Somebody tells you a square tile is $32. But then for you to have a simple office, for whatever business that you want to start, let's say consultancy business, either it's going to be about accounting, something like an accounting firm. You're either starting a very small firm, but then the owner or the management says they are charging you in dollars per month. They will have to see what space you're going to occupy, and after seeing that space, they will account for that money, and then they will request you to pay like 4 or 6 months. But remember, you have not worked on other things. The question is, how are you going to survive the first months? But remember, these are Ugandans who have dreams of owning companies. So they have startups that are already draining them. They have to pay employees, they have to pay taxes. But then the owner or the people in management want you to pay just 6 months prior.
We are
This is where
conditions that are crazy. We are accepting conditions that are crazy, and this is another thing that I wanted to talk about. Thank you for bringing that up. We have to, as Ugandans, we have to know about corporate social responsibility. These big companies that are making money off of us, they have a responsibility towards building the country that is making for them money. MTN, Airtel, what,
Coca-Cola.
They have a responsibility to put back into the community. So like,
but do they do?
They don't.
Do they even
They charge
do
us
that?
highly for data. They're charging us.
You know what brings all that problem is one, we have forgotten one thing. The biggest problem we have is keeping quiet and thinking that politics. I had one person saying, I remember previously you even replied him or her, like was saying, "Mwana gwe, leave politics" or whatever. People have got that cowardice that anyone who speaks about the truth about the system and the policies and everything that is happening in our country is a politician or is talking about politics. But they are forgetting that everything is rotating and running on that political
Around politics.
thing. That is the biggest problem we have, Ugandans.
Yeah, I'm sorry to
Everyone
interject
speaks
you.
up with that.
I'm sorry to
understand?
interject you, BK, but
Yeah.
it feels like Ugandans are intimidated and afraid to speak out. They're all gonna think if I speak out, they're gonna abduct me or they are gonna do this.
Exactly.
Like, bro, come on. We need to speak up these things. We are young people.
And these people know, these people really know that if they get, let's say, 1,000 Jukira who can speak up without bias or anything, it is a very bad image to their side, because they know now we have woken up and we are not cowards. But if we keep quiet, everyone is seeing whatever is happening. Someone is at home for a full week. He cannot even have 2 meals or 3 meals, but he's busy seated here on TikTok seeing Jukira, but he doesn't have supper. He doesn't have what to eat. He has not eaten for, I really feel so bad that if Jukira can come up and speak up, yet he can have 3 meals or 2 meals, then what about you who cannot even afford 1 meal, who cannot even afford medical care, who cannot even afford, why you can't speak up? At least just speak up.
We are using our platforms like wrong. You find like Ugandan TikToks, they are in different entertainment.
They're in Ozambi. That's what they want, That's what we want. We are in Ozambi, and that's where they want us to be. We be on Ozambi, we be in Nyash, and they will rule us until, and even our grandsons, because that's where they want us to be. You come with your enlightenment, you come with your brain and whatever, they want you to be there. And they rule until we get tired and fed up of whatever.
We have to
Which
say
is wrong.
enough
To
is
speak
enough.
I want us to be there.
You
But we
good
can-
evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening, Shimoni. How are you?
I'm fine. Kansubire buli omu ali bulungi. One, nze kye njagala okusookerako njagala kubuuza ekibuuzo kye wabadde wabuuza mu comment section. Are you on Twitter? Like, are you on X?
So,
Then,
I am on Twitter, but I don't be there a lot. My handle is Miles from Sanity. I started the Twitter when I was at campus, when I was still. So the handle is Miles from Sanity. I'm trying to go back there to see if I can get back into the swing of things, but I had left. But my handle is Miles from Sanity.
okay, the reason why the reason why I asked sometime back, I think a few days back, I downloaded your video and shared it on my timeline, and everyone was thinking that it is me. And when this man Spire asked, I think even Toko, when they asked, everyone was tagging my name, saying that Shimon, come, they need you. So that is why I'm asking. So you can come, maybe people will be tagging you whenever they need you.
Yes,
Then
someone write down the name, Miles from Sanity with no space. That's my.
Okay. Then ekirala kye njagala okwogerako, bannange abannayuganda, sooke tubeeremu n'essuubi. Bannange obeera nga tolina ssuubi, obeera useless, obeera tolina gy'olaga, bw'otabeera na ssuubi oba tolina gy'olaga. Let's be hopeful that Uganda can change, because it can change. Abantu abali mu power, abali mu control right now, ffe ababateekayo era amaanyi gaffe nga twegasse tusobola okubaggyayo. For example, look at the parliament. Ani gwe tutasobola gwe mugamba nti tetusobola? If we decide at once. If we don't, bwe tutabeera nti wagendeyo ab'e Kampala bokka oba wagendeyo Abaganda bokka oba abanyigirizibwa bokka, everyone is oppressed. For example, nakola akavidiyo nga njogera ku basuubuzi ab'omu Western Uganda. I used Runyankole nga ngamba abasuubuzi b'omu Western Uganda. Nembagamba muli eyo muli mu business, muli mu kukola. Ababa supplying ebintu okuva e Kampala beekalakaasizza, baggaddemu amaduuka, mwe muli bize mukola. Bwe binaggwaawo mugenda kubijjawa. Abamu ne banziramu ne bagamba ffe ebyo tetubirimu. Abalala of course ne babayinga ideas mu comment section. Naye nga we have to understand that ekinyiga omuntu ali e Kampala naawe Mbarara kijja, naawe Kasese kijja, ne mu North kijja. For example, Nema yabadde nansana ng'emenya amayumba g'abantu ne bakaaba ne bawoloma abakadde, abasajja abakulu n'obwana obuto n'abawala n'abavubuka. Abantu abamu nga basirise, naye tewaayise weeks 2 Nema yakiridde mu Western Uganda ne bakuba ennimiro z'abantu ababadde basimba cabbage ne bazikuba ne baziyiwa. Beba abantu abaasirika ng'abeenansana bakaaba. Kye njagala okulaga kiri nti omuntu ali affected right now na bw'abeera ng'akaaba atanatuukibwako affection tosirika, because anytime it is coming to you, the Baganda say that ekiri atabaala kye kirya ne yasigadde waka, ekiri Omuganda kye kijja ku Munyankole, ekivudde ku Munyankole kijja ku Mukyoli. Everyone will get their share. Bobi Wine yabagamba mujja kiwulira, buli omu ajja kuloza ku mismanagement ya Museveni ne Musevenism ye. Kakati for example Abanyankole wayinza okubaawo ekifaananyi ekisiigibwa nti Abanyankole bali happy oba Ankole eri fine, Western Uganda eri okay, but I want to tell you this, Ankole is also affected. My grandmother died last year. Yalina cancer, bamutwala Mbarara Referral Hospital nga tewali muntu asobola mwatendinga. And the report they gave me, nti abantu babeera beebase ku floor. I didn't manage to go there. I never managed to go there. Naye nga abantu bakugamba nti abantu babeera beebase ku floor. Omuntu n'alwala kansa nga basobola omutreatinga naye n'omuntu amwatendinga nga taliiwo. Ekya kansa kankireke oba ekyebyobulamu kankireke. Look at the roads. When you go to Mbarara, well, bw'obeera mu town oyinza okulaba enguudo ennungi, but drive or move outside Mbarara. Move outside Mbarara. For example, I will tell you 2 highways: Mbarara Kasese, Mbarara Bushenyi Kasese, and Mbarara Ibanda. Those tarmac roads have potholes, just like you see in Kampala. Okay, for example, Ibanda Road, Museveni yagipostingako 2018 ku Twitter ye bwe mugenda mujjagira banoza ne Facebook weri yagipostingako ng'agamba nti bagenda repairing. Since 2018, this road has not been attended. Potholes are like potholes. Kyengezaako okulaba kiri nti maybe yabipostingako ng'ayagala just kusika bantu attention y'akalulu, because we were heading to elections 2018, then after 2021 they vote olumala awaba abafeze kaba kaweddemu. If I may take you back to the health sector, I want us to remember, or if you can go to YouTube and look for, there is an investigative story Solomon Sirwanja gye yakola ku ddwaliro lya Ntungamu. There is a ghost hospital nga basindika sente ly'eddwaliro eryo naye nga bw'ogenda ku ground you cannot find the hospital. Okitegeera ekintu ekyo. So that is what is happening. Bw'otunuulira amasomero bannange simanyi bwe mbyogera tuyinza okusula wano naye
ebizibu bingi. People are asking what is your niche on this platform, and me, my niche is our problems. Our problems are many, and people keep saying,
by the way,
I don't want to open like a TikTok account because I won't have content. You're not going to run out of content. Another one will come tomorrow, another one will come. You're going to be fine, so don't worry about it. If you're scared of starting like to speak up because you're saying, I'm going to run, you're never going to run out of the problems we have. There are many. So you get the hospitals. I don't know if people have ever been to Mulago in the emergency room.
I was there, I think maybe once or twice.
Do you know blood is running on the floor? Blood running on the floor. People are on the floor.
Moreover,
people's bones are poking out like this in the emergency room. They just say, I don't know if you know.
There are some Ugandans who feel like life is normal. Because they have not been affected. Well, they are affected, but they have not realized it. Because they gain from it, family members, system, so that's why they choose to keep quiet or ignore the things. But the fact is, affected.
The other thing is that we have a caste system. We know it, but we don't know that we know it. Uganda, India, some people can only do this, some people can only do this. Other Ugandans, you know where you belong. There are some people you can't even talk like. There are some men or when you're looking at the women you're going to date, you know there is a caliber where you fit in. You know your caste. So there are some people who are above that caste system. These problems to be Kwatako. Then when they are sick, they get into a helicopter and they fly to where? Now us, we are not saying anything. We are just keeping quiet. And those people, it's like not 100 families. It's not even that many. And people are the soldiers will come for you, the police will come for you. Uganda has 40,000 police officers. 40,000. We are 45 million.
Yeah, we are 45 million. For example, I remember nalinda bakoka video kebiseera bya oba bajita Kayunga Bugerere, that riot. Nalabanga by then forces ezaliwo okumanaging abantu mu Kampala. I think they had like 2 trucks and a few police officers running after people. The forces were too much, they were too small, compared to the people that were supposed to outnumbering them. So our Uganda, we need to realize
when Nema went.
Yes.
Those people who were breaking down those houses, there were like 5 people, and the police officers were like 10 police officers. That whole neighbor,
abantu bangi bonna ne badda mu kukwata videos nakkaaba
Abantu babirawo ne bakwata videos and the house was
ng'emmotoka emenya amayumba biri mmotoka nga bibiri.
Shimon, naye mugenda
Yes.
kunsesa. The truth is, we are cowards. Tukirize, we are cowards. Because
Ate
imagine
Everyone.
all of you to just look.
Just
When
look
30
at
people or
it.
20, they are removing
Yeah.
all your phones and you just
You
look.
imagine they are
Over
breaking a
1,000.
shelter. They are breaking a basic need, a shelter.
And then they expect Bobby Wine to come and do something.
Do what?
And then they start
Yeah,
saying
only-
government is the one doing these things. The government yebatumye.
nga tusoma batusomesa nga ebintu ebiri basic mu bulamu bw'omuntu, it is shelter, food and those things that you know. Naye abantu b'enansana basobola okutunuulira nga bamenya shelters zaabwe nga balekawo just business y'omuntu Starbucks, you know, omuntu n'asobola okuttira eriiso Starbucks just business y'omuntu, then no demolishing shelter, a basic need. Naye abantu ne babeera mu kaaba, you know, ne bakwata video akola comedy ali awo, ate banange twagiddwa likes z'oku TikTok, buli omu ayagala likes. Mu biseera by'okukaaba omuntu aleetawo
Shimon,
Yes.
just know, Uganda bagala ozambe. Go just bring ozambe, bring nyashi, mabina. They will shout, they will be on that. Okitegera? They will be on that. Nelete ebyamagezi. Tebagala biwulira.
If you don't get serious,
You see, Ugandans are really tired of all this. But now the issue of NEMA, okumenya amayumba. Naye Abannayuganda balinamu feeling eri, something that continues to instill fear in them, in their mindset. They really want to come out and do something, but they believe somebody must lead them. I believe olunaku lwe baamenya amayumba e Nansana, abantu bandibadde basobola okwekuŋŋaanya nabo ne bafuna kye bakola ku Starbucks. Toke ffe mumenya amayumba gaffe, Starbucks mugirese wali. Even the Starbucks. Katufune kye tu damaging out of pain. But then Ugandans are like, nyinza okikola ati and nobody feels and nobody joins me. You get that? They're like, I feel like I should do something, but then what if nobody joins me? That challenges
But honestly,
Ugandans.
if you're Ugandan here and you're feeling no one is going to join you, first look at my account. Nange nali mani, I thought I was alone. I used to think about this thing when I thought I was alone. Abantu babira mukompo. Now people here, we are 100 people here. Then nothing. People will
This
come
is
and
about mindset, right? It's about mindset.
they will support you. Someone was asking, how can I send you money? People will support you. People will find you. People will give you advice.
They will, but they will definitely, but
That no one is going to support us. But people will.
Evelyn, let me just give you one submission. I remember what is so funny. President called the so-called Basobozi. I laughed and I laughed. Can you imagine he called them? They were over like, I don't know how many were they. But deliberately they knew he was going to say nothing. And they knew, deep down themselves, they knew that he's not going to do anything. But the whole group of people who have money, who like, they go there, they just sit, listen to whatever they are telling them, and then now work is back to normal. You know? Work is back to normal. You know, that's the country where we are. Like, they tell you anything, tomorrow they are back at work. What country is that?
They went there to remind the president of their problems. They knew that
think-
Trevor could not do anything.
I think
Hi,
that-
everyone.
I think that,
I just wanted to say a few things here.
Hi.
Thank you very much for this platform. I think it has been a pleasure meeting all of you. I think our problems are so big that I think it's one, system based. Two, on top of the systems, they are now so much intertwined with, I would say, political issues added in the systems. And I wanted to talk about one thing. Most of you have talked about it, from health to
Hello?
campuses that graduate from campus don't know what to do. And indeed, it's true. If the educated people whom parents toil every day to support in high institutional learning come out and they don't know what to do, how many more youths are still going to go into the same system, and where are we heading? Yes, we have talked about here all corruption, but there should be one thing that unites us. We need a better Uganda. We need a better systems. I don't need to go to Ministry of Foreign Affairs or Internal Affairs that I'm paying bribe to process a small passport. Someone is seated there who is paid by the government, is asking a bribe from a poor Ugandan. And these things are everywhere, not necessarily only any other. I believe in every sector. Look at just this tip of an iceberg about service award. Look at how many faults have been identified from Uganda Investment Authority. There was over a lot of millions that were awarded to people. And I believe there are many more that are undercover. But of course, the fact that who are these people doing this, it is the same people whom we think are elites and they're in government. They are doing all this. And what will be the repercussions are what we are talking about. Poor roads, right from south to north to east, whatever things you think about. Now we talked about we don't have doctors. Sincerely, one biggest thing Uganda needs to address is the income gap. You can't tell me one person, some sectors, people are earning over 200% more than someone, and yet we live in the same economy. And what will be the impact on someone, a maid, or let's say a cleaner in your office who earns 200,000 and the boss is earning 30, 40 million? And you all have children to pay to institutions. You all have basic needs.
This is someone was mentioning it in the comments that someone ruling, staying in power for 40 years is not an accident, it's the design. So we have to know how that design is made. And that design is made in getting people bootlickers and giving them the things that they want so that they stay around you and they cushion you. So you get the CEOs and the ministers and you pay them 20 million, you pay them what, you give them cars, you do this, and then they turn around on the people and they start to make sure these people stay scared so they can stay with their 10 millions, 20 millions per month. So Ugandans who live in fear, it's those people in the middle who are carrying out this fear. The police commanders who are sending police to go under and who are sending people in the drones. You know what I'm talking about. I just don't want to say it for TikTok here but those are the people. Those are the architects of the reality that we are living in, and they are not winning. Wherever you have to remember that we outnumber them. We are not organized. That's the thing. We're just not organized, and it starts here because first of all we are scattered. Because there is no jobs, the way he has been mentioning, there is no jobs. People have gone here, people have gone there, people have gone where. But now we have the internet. You can be wherever you can be in Padere, you can be in Kotido, you can be in Nairobi, you can be in South Africa, and we can sit down and have a conversation. This is our biggest weapon, and we have to use it to organize real things and be like, okay, what does a better education system look like? Because the education system that we are doing is a colonial relic. It's meant to manufacture people, field workers, people to work in the fields for these colonialists. It's not meant to build nation builders. The health sector is not even for us. People keep saying, oh, the colonialists brought civilization. No, they built the roads they needed to take out our resources, our raw materials. They built the hospitals they needed to treat themselves. It wasn't for us. Those are the things that we have now. Every district should have a trauma center, a cardiac center, a nephrology center, a dialysis center. We need to think about these things. Like, whatever your specialty is, you need to sit down on social media, on where, and you need to start talking about this. Me, this is what I've seen. This is what I'm thinking. We are so much smarter than we give ourselves credit for. And if we are saying that we want to build that country, then we have to demonstrate it. We have to show that we have the capacity to build this country, that we have the capacity to organize ourselves, that we are going to sit here. If the content people are making, if you don't want nyash, if you don't want comedy, don't pay it any attention. Don't give them the likes they're dying for. Focus on the things that you want. Don't focus on the fear, because what you focus is the reality that you create. So focus on the freedom you want, and think about it all the time, and tell your friends and talk to people and bring it into the real world. Your friends, when you're having breakfast, when you're having what, talk about it. And if you know people like police officers, ask them, why do you keep kidnapping people? Like on a normal day. You get? Like, they cannot kill all of us. We need to talk about this. Especially it's harder for people who are in Uganda currently. But if you're in Bulaya and you're not making this your utmost business, because you have stepped out of the fire and you are sitting on the sidelines, you are taking a breath. Don't just breathe for nothing. Use your life force to develop personal responsibility. Give back to the community. And just, like, we can really do this. But anyway.
Excuse me.
Yes. I think just a little.
Sorry for a moment. I've seen someone here. They have been commenting. Actually, very many of them have been commenting. And that is where we go wrong. Sorry to interrupt you. People are thinking that Jukira is a hero. It has to be Jukira to do something, which is wrong. Someone here said in the comment that now Jukira, if they give you money or if they give you a ministerial post, no Twitter, blah blah and everything. That's where we go wrong. It's not all about Jukira. Jukira will go, but we have to stay there and stand. It's not all about her. People are mistakenly for that.
Guys, let me tell you.
It's about us, all of us.
I am the most normal person. Like, there is no, I went to really nice schools. I went to normal schools. I did my campus at Chambogo. I went for HSC, I went to St. Maria Goretti. Before that, O-level, I went to Bishop Cyprian Chanjir. There is nothing special about me. Just in Koi, I'm just tired. That's it. I go and I do my job. I go and read some books, and then I come here and I talk on TikTok. You people in the comments, there are people here who are 10 times better than me. There are people who are 1,000 times better than me in the comments. Even then, they are waiting for me to do that thing. This is how you get people who are not the ones who are supposed to do something doing it, because the ones who are supposed to are sitting at home waiting for the other person to do it. There are some of you in the comments here who you keep writing the comments and you're saying brilliant things, and I'm like, why aren't you the one on the TikTok platform talking?
Exactly.
Lawyers, what you're waiting for me? Me, I'm a normal person. I'm not going to be anyone's hero. Just go. It's just tired. That's it.
I think Ugandans should understand.
This should be every Ugandan should be on this wavelength. You should be in your normal life, because seeing the things that we are seeing. And if someone comes and tells you, because this is how we fall into cults, someone just has the confidence to come and say something, and then all of us surround that person and we exalt that person like this. Then the person says, now give me money and I go and help you. When this is a capacity you have for yourself, this is every single Ugandan should be on that wavelength of what's happening. Did you know this? Or Jukira this? Or what? It should just be baseline for all of us. That someone who's talking about these things is the outlier.
I think I just want to say one more thing. I know the basic space for civic education has been shut down, probably, in our country. Yeah. And on normal circumstances, even people having conversations about politics in an open place has so much drastically been narrowed down. But I think this kind of platforms provide us the best opportunity to air out some of the views. And even to have micro or an extensive kind of talks, as you say, in our inner cycles. Look at what happens. It just, leave alone the city, flash back to wherever you come from. What is happening within the locality? Even the leaders that we have right from grassroots, how responsive are they to the issues that pertain the common people within their vicinity? Look at the health center threes. What's happening? From just basically from education to healthcare, a lot of things are in disarray. And these are things we begin to talk about. We begin to put even the smallest leader that you think about in your place is part of the solution. Because I believe most of these leaders that traject from whatever lower levels they are up to the higher levels, even the MPs, that wherever they are, some of these people will in turn go back to their constituency.
What is MK26? What is that? There's someone here who keeps on commenting, asking why I'm not in Uganda. Let's not be childish. Let's not be childish. We are where let me tell you, where you are right now is where you have to start from. Where life has ended you up, start from where you are. Now you want me to first wait until I organize my life and then
just leave
Uganda.
Just leave those Banyampi. Those are Banyampi.
I think leave the comment sections. What I should say that Ugandans,
leave those Banyampi. Leave them.
Don't explain.
I think I should say that Ugandans, we should know that Uganda is for you. It's for us Ugandans. Uganda is not like a private property. We should have patriotism for our country. We should not say that, no, this doesn't concern me. And maybe we are the Gen Zs, we are the Ugandan Gen Zs and millennials who can do change. So to me, I feel like I should say that we can now start to create awareness on different platforms, and we are going to support you. We are going to support ourselves. We come up with different kind of political conversations that have good safe space, So we come up with all this kind of information. We create awareness in different languages so people can understand. I feel like Ugandans don't understand. They feel like they don't want to evolve in politics, but it's affecting them. It's affecting your politics. Is affecting you.
Yeah,
I don't even.
And people in power, they understand our desperate nature. So what they do is they find you and you have been hungry for like 2-3 days, and then they pay you 5,000, 10,000, and then they tell you go and harass that girl on the internet. Then you become very excited. You take the 10K and you feed yourself for that day, and then you come here on the internet, and then you start shouting at people who are trying to fight for you, so that you don't have to beg.
Let me say something.
You know, 10K so that you can eat for tomorrow and the next day. But now the person who's fighting for you and your future and your children, then you come and you spend the whole day in my DMs abusing me, shouting at me, calling me names.
Yes.
In your own goal.
Just know one thing. Let me tell them. Ugandans need to be told the realities of life. Uganda, we are in the boat and we are on the ocean. So for those who really care much about our country, they bring out the muzita batenkasi to try okuba eryato. Naye abasinga bonna batudde mu lyato bali comfortable. Bo bamanyi eryato lyevuga lyokka mpaka we naatuuka ku lukalu. Naye bwe tunaagaana ffenna okusituka okukuba enkasi, olunaku lujja kukya ffenna eryato likola ki? Kati n'abadde batudde bajja kugenda okwekanga nga ffenna tuguddeyo omundi gumu, n'abatayogera, n'abasirise, n'abatali Uganda, ffenna tujja kugwa mu ocean at the same time. I pity the youth abagamba mbu mwewaki mwadduka, lwaki mwava mu ggwanga lyammwe. By the way, the majority of people abasinga abava mu Uganda, not because baali baagala and not because it was the best option. Naye tewali kyakola. We were failed.
Hey guys, hi everyone.
Hi Shamila. I've told you guys before, and I will tell you again. Uganda the only option that I had was to look for a man with money, to sleep with a man for daily. No one was giving me a job because I don't have rich uncles to place me somewhere. No one was doing anything. With all my brains, I was volunteering, I was starting businesses, I was doing what, and it wasn't working. And this is the reality for most of us. If you're not willing to steal, if you're not willing to sell your body, just because you're not standing on the street, some of the people have even gotten into marriages just because politics. Like, you just need a husband who's going to pave the way for you. And I didn't want that to be my reality. So I left. And now people are doing the same thing. The options are bad. So when you go and judge someone for doing what they have to do to survive, how does that help the movement? How is that helping us get to a better tomorrow?
Ate n'ekirala oyo saagala abuuze nti lwaki mwafuluma ne mugenda ebweru. By the way, for your information, n'omuntu ali bweru ali important ku struggle ye Uganda. Ali important because nga bwe tuzze tulaba most of the finances during one of the presidential candidates' struggle or Ugandan's struggle was coming from the diaspora people. So omuntu ali bweru ayinza obutabeera ku ground naye ayina kyayambako ku nkyukakyuka ye Uganda. That is why ne mu biseera bya Museveni okujja mu bukulembeze yavanga e Uganda n'agenda Sweden okumiitinga abantu. Yalina connections nabo abaaliyo nga bannayuganda. He needed them. So muleme kutunulira change mbwe egenda kujja ku bannayuganda abali e Uganda bokka. Nowebwera asobola okuyambako. For example, abaana ababadde Kenya nasanze ku Twitter nga bagamba nti they were getting support from the Kenyans outside. Water, drinking water for dehydration, n'ebirala. So n'omuntu ali bweru temumwanda mining asobola okubeera important.
We actually the biggest taxpayers. I mean, they take a lot of money. Ugandan government gets a lot of money from people from diaspora. So they are the biggest taxes in Uganda.
Yeah, the remittance. They're sending these things.
And another thing, why for us we come up and speak up? Because for us at least we have that immunity that we can speak up and we don't fear about anything. Yeah. You understand? But people who are back home, they are cowards first of all, and they cannot even speak up because they fear abduction, they fear this and that. But me, I can speak up whatever I feel because I know I'm very safe where I am. You understand? That's why we come up to speak up. You understand?
Guys, here, I want to say this here. I have been listening to everything that you guys have been saying. When it comes to speaking up, there is this post that I saw on social media that Ugandans were groomed not to speak up, whereby it started way back from schools, whereby they told children, stay quiet, prefects and class monitors that stay quiet. So now they have grown up with that mentality whereby someone abroad, like kids, they can speak up from a very young age that, I want this, I don't want this. Like they know what's right and what's not. What's not, maybe in Africa, people are so silenced. I have been in certain countries, in Africa, but people are so afraid to speak for what's, wrong and right. Rather they contribute to the problem unknowingly. So I think that's the most big issue because they can't speak. Even if they speak, they're going to be silenced in a way.
Yes, that is exactly true. This comes back to the education system that was set up. That colonial education system was set up to build us to manufacture field workers. That's what
they were like groomed all the way from, childhood. They're not allowed to speak. Yes, which is not right because people are supposed to speak up.
What we need to do, develop in yourself okwetu minkiriza. Make everything your business and speak on it. Everything has to be your business. Yes. You say something, just say. And instinctively, because they caned us when we were growing up, because the schools were how, because of all of these things, your instinct is to just be like, let's keep quiet and look the other side.
And also, And also, I think people are blaming like leaders. But recently I was in Uganda. But the way I saw things, people like from the ground need to start working on themselves, you know. For example, littering, rubbish here and there, you know, that can be like, you know, a community thing. You can, you know, sit down and be like, you know, we ain't gonna litter, you know, we're gonna pick up rubbish and all that. Like, that's how, you know, you build up. Before you blame the leaders, it needs to start within ourselves. Because, you know, for example, abroad, in certain countries, you can't just litter. You teach, you know, your kids, you know, don't litter there at dustbins and all that. And I think personally, that goes back to the ground as community work before you blame, you know, the leaders.
Yes. And even on that thing of personal responsibility, when you see things popping up in your community, go and find out who they are. Like you see an NGO, walk into the office and be like, what do you people do? What have you done?
Yeah.
What is your plan? Ask those people, because that is how we had that woman who came from America and she went in Eastern Uganda and she was doing surgeries on babies. You remember that woman? No, like no one asked her.
No one was questioning what's happening.
No one questioned her. We just saw a white person and we were like, leave the girl to do surgeries on children, on our children. Walk into those offices, those NGOs, and walk with your head held up. Because sometimes we walk in and we are like, hi. Walk in with your head high and be like, I live in this neighborhood. You guys just started here. I just wanted to know, what is your plan? You're an NGO. You say you help people. What do you do? What is it that you do? How are you helping our community? How are you giving back? Those NGOs make money. Their budgets be in millions of dollars. They have a social responsibility to the neighborhood. If they're in that neighborhood and there is no like borehole, they are supposed to put it there. Tell them, there are some projects that we have. If you guys on your corporate social responsibility budget, can you think about doing this? Tell them the things you actually need, because some of them are there saying, we are here to do random things that Ugandans don't need. Tell them, no. As we have our projects that we want. What do you mean qualifications are required? You as a Ugandan, as someone who has come into your home, that's your qualification. You are Ugandan who's concerned. Walk into those spaces and demand to know what's happening.
At least get involved, you know, at least look around and just look and observe what's happening. You know, you're gonna learn something from it.
So I think like Ugandans now, we the Gen Zs and millennials, we need to. The solution is right now. We need to create awareness. We need to come up with different platforms, just like the one for Jukira. If we can have like 500 of us having these on TikTok, you know, I think we can start creating awareness to so many Ugandans, and the voice will reach out to so many people who are like ignorant. And let me say, we shouldn't mind about people in comment section who are being negative, and we shouldn't block them, but we shall make them understand. You know, I know they are in denial. They know what's happening.
Well, they know the truth.
And also another thing that I realized about Kenyans and maybe Nigerians, because I have been in around Kenyans and Nigerians, they have that unity in them, which is not in Uganda, by the way. You know, you can discuss something like right now, as we're here, we can discuss something and then a bunch of people can just be like, oh, no, what are they talking about? And, you know, just branch off what you have just discussed. So there is no unity in Uganda. If there is unity, then I think more things can move forward.
Ugandans should have used this opportunity of Kenya. All the cameras are on in Kenya. Uganda within just olava mu mwezi nga gumu twandibadde tukikola. Kubanga kamera zonna kati ziri wali eri e Kenya. Kati ziba zisenguka busensi nga zidda mu Uganda. Right now, we had got a chance of Kabaka. We would have used that spark of Kabaka. Abe Buganda ne basala Kenya, because every region here they have their barracks. I'm in Western Uganda now. There is barracks here. Nga tusalako ezo barracks tusalako ekkubo. Abe Kasesa ne basalako, abe Gulu ne basalako, abe Masaka ne basalako ezeeyo. Ate Kampala mulimu abantu bangi basula bakaaba bali mu Hozambe, balaba medias ze Uganda ezireeta diversion after diversion, babagoba ku ttaka mukyaza Hozambe simayi Sifula musifula naye aba ku TV kyokka ate eri babagoba mu ttaka bano babatta gende mulago olabe babasala bibumba babitwala kyokka ate muli mu ggwanga lyammwe. I'm in Western Uganda right now. Wano ekintu kyatabuka da akasajja tebakaagala bajjawo Bwakabaka buli omu akaaba.
I know this
We
is
would
what
have
we
used
talked
this
about.
pack of
But you know,
kabaka.
Abyogede, Richard, like the systems, you find like TVs, television stations, they are showing things that are not even
relevant.
Thank you very much. You know, they're showing Ozambe, they're inviting people.
And Elijah, the thing is
A lot-
intentional. Don't forget.
A lot
It's
of
very
diversion.
intentional. It is
Koja
very
is saying
intentional.
Ugandans.
prepare. And this
It's
is
very
what Richard
intentional.
has been saying about the preparation. So the way what preparation looks like is having 500 accounts on this here TikTok. Everyone from here, from where, telling us these things. This is what it looks like. This is preparation. Us here talking.
Yes.
It's not. We're not going to announce the preparation has started. This is the preparation. We are here. We are talking. This is how things start.
You know, Elijah was asking, like, how these televisions are, you know, broadcasting such shit, because they are on televisions, and it is intentional to keep us in that mode, so that we become nuisance in our country. We don't think, we don't reason, we lose hope, so that for them they do whatever they want. That's what they want. And I'm telling you, 90%.
That's why in Uganda, internet is very expensive. Internet is very expensive. Abantu tebasobola kugenda ku Facebook, abantu tebasobola
so
TikTok.
that you don't get the information. You don't
But
you
take out
don't
the
get
TV.
fed up. You understand? And it is
Yes.
very intentional, and people have forgotten
Here
to
in
know.
Uganda, to use internet, you must be.
Yo, let me tell you, wherever you are, you don't even have to start on TikTok. Like there are some people who don't have internet. Nga Richard Bawadaga.
Yes, I think it's actually even less than maybe 30% when it comes to the internet in Uganda. It's like maybe 30% that has the internet, mostly like in the center. If you go outside, you know, they don't even want to know about the internet because it's expensive, this and that. You know, some of them don't even have smartphones. They don't know even how to use it.
Very expensive.
And that's another
Even
thing.
smartphones. Someone to have a
The
smartphone.
companies that
Osanga
we
in a smartphone.
the companies that we come for, Airtel, MTN, those telecommunication companies, they are doing us that. It's not supposed to be that expensive. They are not helping the people that pay their salaries because we are the ones who are.
Those are their companies.
We can demand and we can be like.
They are
why
the
is
ones
that
who
so
Museveni's family. Museveni's family have shares in telecom companies here. Yes. They have to put data. They have to put everything on.
You know, guys. Personally, I don't believe in violence, but what Jukra are doing is right, like to speak up and raising awareness. I think that's the first step to change, and also to have like leaders who are listeners, because you know they listen instead of returning back.
Is doing.
You see,
mindset of the
Madam, Museveni once said, kotapini mugale etekebwamu nnyondo ejibwamu nnyondo. He came here with violence. Museveni is going to be taken by violence. I'm telling you. Nothing is going kati olaba basenze church. Olaba basenze church. Naye nga bayise Yesu n'alema okujja. Teyabataasizza. Museveni is going to be taken by violence. He was brought by violence. He's going to be taken by violence.
Let me tell you something about that. That is propaganda. The fact that Museveni will be removed by violence, that is propaganda. There are some things that we can do that don't require violence.
Exactly.
We can start now and educate ourselves. We can start now and be personal.
We create awareness.
Party now. There's a video I posted that has the phone numbers of those corrupt people.
Kenyans were tormented, oppressed, but
guys, you need to understand Kenya is very different from Uganda.
Did you see Kenyans?
Kenya has democracy more than Uganda. You need to understand
they
that.
came in peace.
Right now, there are things
we have democracy also.
Violence is plan Z. We have plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Violence is plan Z. Everything has. So we haven't tried everything yet. There are so many things that we can do before we get to that point. Call a corrupt MP today. Send them a message on WhatsApp and tell them.
Also, guys, it's you that vote for those corrupt MPs. Because why would you vote someone who has never been maybe experienced to money? Because they're just gonna go grab and steal. That's how I see things. I don't know about you guys, but
Jukira,
where someone who's lacking.
on all plans we had never tried any plan. Actually, you're so right. We haven't done anything. Let us not even lie ourselves.
Exactly,
We haven't
nothing
tried
has been done.
We have done what? Nothing. Totally nothing. So let us not think about violence as the first plan.
There are some people. Let's remember. Like there are some people.
I just
during the protests for the elections, there are some people who lost their lives. There are people.
I remember those people all the time, way back.
There are people who have lost their lives for this thing. There are people who are gang ho on this thing, who die for this thing. So those people have done, but as a collective, all of us as Ugandans,
those are the people we don't want to
we haven't
support.
done. They are individuals. We know their names. We know their faces. But we need all of us as a collective to organize ourselves and make a strategy.
We are ready to die more and save our future.
No, darling Richard, is this rich land, Jay? Nothing is gonna be there by violence.
I am rich
Can
land.
change without violence.
Right, guys.
Like what Jukra is doing, that's
can
like
I
one
have
of the right
nothing?
Oh, sorry, guys. Can I have just 5 minutes?
I'm not.
Because
I'm not meaning.
Who is talking?
Okay.
I can't tell. Is it Magato? Is it you talking?
No, it's me, Koja.
Hey, hi Koja.
Okusooka bannange nsanyusa okubalaba. I'm very pleased okubeera nga mumixinga this live with English so that we can collect some people who don't understand Uganda, because some people came out and asked, why do we do these lives in Uganda? Okay, Uganda is the most commonly used language. Anyway, bannange njagala obagamba, we introduced this thing of social media years back with Besige, before you guys were dreaming of coming out with this. And Museveni, we are the ones who forced Museveni to close Facebook. That's why you guys who are in Uganda, you can only access Facebook via VPN. So if you guys say we haven't done anything,
true.
Let me tell you guys, I'm approaching 50 years. Naye, the only president I've ever seen in my life is Museveni. These guys came with a strategy which we call surgical operation. How does that operation work? He created his
surgical. I know that.
Yeah, he created his opposition. Abo bonna babesije mbadde mulaba, the likes of Mugisha Muntu, the likes of he created his opposition. So Bobi Wine caught him by surprise. That's why mulaba, the way he's dealing with his supporters is different. Tolabangako supporter wa Besije ali mu court martial. Tolabangako supporter wa DP ali mu court martial. It's only with Bobi Wine. So that is an achievement. You understand? So how are we fighting this guy? First and foremost, we sat down and we said we don't want to use violence, because this guy is a master of violence. He massacred close to 500,000 people in Luwero. He came to massacre. That's where he brought the king to help him. He massacred each and every person. Him, the only language he understands, it's violence. So what Bobi Wine came with is, let him address you. So my sister, I can see you are young. Now, this thing, the ability you got to open up a live and collect this kind of people who are more than 100 people, this is an achievement. And this is how we are going to remove Museveni, because each and every person, if he knows why has Museveni stayed for over 40 years, it's because of this. He has built the likes for us. You guys, you said we are doing propaganda. Me and Lumbuye started speaking about the likes of Bampuga. Nimugamba, those are talking propaganda. We told you about Mayiga. Mayiga is not a Muganda. He cannot mention 4 grandfathers in Uganda.
True.
He can't. So this is how the guy has strategized himself. Watch the gear. So now if we learn, you see, that's why Museveni brought his wife to be the Minister of Education, to kill the education.
educated people are very hard to govern. Watch together. So you guys, please, when we preaching, we have achieved a lot. This guy has ruled us more than 40 years. Don't think we are going to move him within a year. It can take us even 10 years.
Seven. You guys are our elders. You should be telling us the stories. Because in the story, my God, you say you haven't given us the
no, auntie, munange ngenda mpola ngenda nkwata ko
bwenti. You miss they tell us the story so that we have the information.
What forces me to come here and I have a debate with you guys, because ndaba achievements zaffe ze twakola. Kubanga mu you guys, when you come up, this is our achievement. And we come here and tuino okujja tugambe bannange, we are proud of you. Okitegeera. Naye temwenyoma. And don't compare us with Kenyans. Because a police ye Uganda, security ze Uganda, temuli mu banna Uganda. Security ze Uganda, temuli mu banna Uganda. Oliba nogo mago, simanya bagumba nazi, simanya banis. They don't care about you. They will massacre you. They will kill you. And tomorrow they will use those media houses. Babagambe, mulabe Kyagulanyi abattisa. Obakitegera Kyagulanyi wano yabagamba nti bwe muba ababaana besibye kwenfunira sente. Release them and I don't get the money. They haven't released the guys. Obakitegera. So when you come, Kenya has got democracy. Kenya, the police is still standing. The police, the Inspector General of Police is a policeman. Namely, Uganda muina army officer who is not, Kasigas is not a Muganda, is not a Ugandan.
Who is he from?
Kasiga is a Munyarwanda and is not a policeman. He's an army officer.
But how many is he going to kill?
Sorry?
So the army, first of all, for people who are
millions of people, how many is he going to kill?
For people who are here, let me first put this out there. The army is not supposed to operate domestically. The army is supposed to be for fighting the enemies of the country from outside. So it depends. It's the askari of the country. The army is not supposed to interfere with the things.
The invaders.
Yeah. Exactly. So he's undermining our democracy.
Yeah.
Now the police is supposed to serve.
Yes.
Protect the citizen, but we don't know this. We think that the police is Museveni's own tool to use against us, so we accept that. But that's another way that they infringe on our rights. The police is supposed to serve you and protect you as a citizen.
Yes.
Actually, even in more civilized countries, the army is not supposed to be out in public. You know, if you see the army, you're supposed to be surprised, like, oh wow. You're not even supposed to see them anywhere.
The fact that when the only time that an army appears on the streets is when they declare martial law, is when there is a curfew, is in terms of extenuating circumstances. But Ugandans, we have lived like that for 30 years. So we have been under martial law. Someone here was calling him our patriarch. No. If we are saying we're in the democracy, we want a president. We don't want a patriarch. We don't want a king. We don't want a gangster. We want someone who serves our interests. Like, this country is not a personal business to run for yourself, to use the army as you please, to use the police as you please. And we have to know these things, and then we have to act like we know these things. That you don't move with it. You stand up and you're like, this is my country, what must I do?
Okay, nze nga maliriza hosti baleke kyenjagala obagamba nti let us take things as we see our elders. Let us take things as kubanga mweno struggle tewali amanyi nnyo ate kyova olabanga Kyagulanyi came out and he said, you are not fighting for me, you are fighting for yourself. You understand? You are fighting for yourself. Kati us nga bwe tubasomesa bwe twesarendarinza okubeera nga tubasomesa nga twachivinze even this simanyi obaana Elijah, you have the echo. Kyenjagala mubagambe bannange mumanye nga don't even undermine yourself. Okubeera nga tukuŋŋaanye wano, this is an achievement, and Museveni doesn't like this. That's why he has militarized everything. That's why he fears to be exposed. Now njagala bagamba fe tubadde ne kati twaduumireeyo gundi parliamentary exhibition. That parliamentary exhibition, we came out and we exposed it and see what it came out with. Anita Amongo, the third person in the government, cannot go out anywhere. You understand? Now the very same thing has happened to what? To Maega. Maega has left the country. The same applies to Nabagereka. Nabagereka left the country. Where is he? He's in hiding. Maega cannot come in public in tayinza kubeera eno mu Europe najja mu public because he knows nze wemulabirako mukwatira w'amatayi nze mummanyi ndowooza mundabyeko nze nasala leerwe buli
omukwatirawo Jake
nze nsereko mwamulaba bwe nali mukutte Muhammad Gaimini
kojja omugezi
wandise. So I want to tell you guys mukwate ekintu kino mpola because these guys Museveni ono gwe mulaba. Let me tell you something. Obote was told that there is someone who is fighting you called Museveni. He said this Molo Kanyarwanda, what can he do? Museveni believed in himself. So what he did,
he undermined.
So even us, once we believe in ourselves, Bananga, we are going to achieve a lot.
But yeah, just tell us the story of how Museveni came up. What was his policy? What was his strategy in those?
Museveni's strategy, first and foremost, he came in Uganda as a refugee. He came in Uganda as a 12-year-old boy. So he knew that there are people who are closer to me. There are people who I can align with.
He was in Rwamwanja refugee camp.
There are people I can align with. Those are the people from Western Uganda. So that's why he called himself a Munyankore, because he knew that the Banyankore and the Banyarwanda, especially the Tutsis, they are from the same alignment. It's like with the Baganda, the Bantu, a Musoga can claim to be a Muganda. A Mugisu can claim to be a Muganda. What did he do? He abolished the kingdom of Ankole. You don't even hear them talking. So what he came, he believed in himself. I liked the guy when he came out, because when we are coming out, Fetwali around senior 2, 3 around there.
Like what year is this?
It was around I'm talking of the 80s.
Okay.
He was very strategic. That's why his cabinet, the first cabinet, did well. Museveni yatuchoosing n'atugamba n'abantu baagala ki n'aleeta the likes of Samson Kiseka ni abo bonna abaali mu cabinet ne performing well, but they were his agent, whereas he was building his gondi, his dynasty. What he did, sporting Uganda abaali abagagga n'atuwa abakazi Abanyarwanda ne tubawasa n'abakazi abaali abaganda n'abawa abakazi abasajja Abanyarwanda ne babafumbirwa. That's why in Kampala now you see there is no a real Muganda who is rich or a real Ugandan who is rich. You understand? So that's why he had to oppress himself. Now with the likes of Bobby Wine, he wasn't in his equation. He just came out from the blue. You understand?
Yeah,
that's why the guy has called him on many occasions to sit down and speak with him. The guy has told him, what do you want? If you want money, I have my money. What else do you want me to talk with you? If you want me to talk with you, I want when are you leaving power? And we guys, we have to be very proud of that guy, Bobby Wine. I want to tell you this. They tell you a lot of propaganda. Me, I've ever engaged with him one-on-one. The guy is very smart. The guy is very strategic. You understand? You can see there is future in Uganda. So you guys, what you have to do, you guys, especially you Ugandans who are under 35 years, you are going to be free when you remove Museveni. Failure to that, don't count anything.
But we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We can't lose hope before we even start. the
We
journey
have
has
already started, my sister.
journey
The
has
struggle has been years. We have started, and we have seen some achievement. I told you the parliamentary exhibition. You have seen how we have scrutinized the likes of Anita Among. Now you can see the likes of Mpugas. Now you've seen the Buganda. We have located Kabaka where he is. We have located where he is. Maiga was lying to you guys that he's suffering from allergy. He's doing what? At least abana bennaku zino muli clever. No one can tell you someone is suffering from allergy. You understand? So we knew that Kabaka has got what we call a neurological disorder. And what is a neurological disorder? You can go, you can use your phone, and you do what?
Do we know what kind of neurological disorder he has?
You see, based on when he went to Germany, he was sent to the hospital. In Germany, it was a hospital so that they can treat it. But that neurological disorder was developing. It can develop, and it leads to organ failure. So that's why Kabaka Mwamulabanga yambadde binnigina, because waliwo organ ye ya failing, ebigere bye byazimba. Ate neurological disorder.
A neurological disorder. The workings, the study of the brain.
Yeah.
So what your brain does. So if there is some way that your brain is malfunctioning, like there are so many neurological disorders that we know of. I'm trying to look for examples that I can give you. Chigambo chinene, but it shouldn't scare you. Science now, it can be maintained. They can put you on medicine, and you live a long, fruitful life. What is the quickest example of a neurological disorder I can think of? When I think of one, I'll tell you, and how it's treated, and people go there. Wanje?
Okay, Eya Kabaka, why it became worse?
I will just know Kabaka Bamu.
Yeah, Eya Kabaka, why it was. You see, there is a misfunctioning of the brain, and Eya Kabaka, why it became worse, because it came out physically. Bama lomua obutwa bwamu affecting. Kati bwe yatandika okuzimba ebigere, kati n'ekirala Kabaka alina what we call challenging behavior. Bw'abeera awo n'omuntu tasobola kubeera awo na muntu kwegamba. Sometimes agenda bw'akwata naye yennyini yeesuna, naye yennyini yeekwagula, okitegeera. Kati eyo gyali e Namibia, it's like nga umuteeke wantu, it's like a home, it's like a residential bwe bateeka abantu abavuddeko. Kyova olaba kati Kabaka alina 24/7 care. Ebintu ebimuliko byonna bitiisa, okitegeera. Naye twebuuza, why did they have to do this, and how did they do it, and why did they do such a thing? Because Abaganda batumala ne batujjawo eyo Mengo gye mulaba tekyali ya Buganda. Abantu abalimu bonna kyova olaba Kabaka where he is being held, bamuteekawo nti nga abantu abalina okugenda okumulaba balina okubeera ba next of kin. Have you ever seen anyone who is next of kin to Kabaka, his sons, oba his daughters, oba his brothers or his sisters, nga bavaayo nga boogera ku bulwadde bwe?
So abantu abali mu comments abali kugamba let's focus. This thing is doing us from all angles, and we have to be able to eat and talk and walk and chew gum all at the same time.
And those who are talking, let them also bring their topics if they want their topics also. We are free with any Ugandan who is coming up to give his view.
Bannange njagala obagamba mu social media fe batuwadde ebintu. Don't always in life accept to be challenged. You understand? Life is like running a marathon. You will find obuzibu. Abantu abakomenting that they are free to comment. Okitegeera. They don't be disguised by abantu abakomenting. Nze baali bampita muyekera wa ADF. Naye I've never been muyekera in my life. That one did not hinder me from moving forward. So mbasaba mwenna bwe mubeera ku social media, don't be deterred, don't be taken away by the comments, because every person waliwo abatalina bwongo. Museveni atukipingidde nnyo ewala, kubanga whereby okugamba omuntu yerwaneko oli akugamba kasitandya kasitanywa. Museveni atutadde mu guuni nti omuntu abeera awo n'agamba nti even if ngenda nendaba ku Kenzo, ngenda nendaba ku Bebe Cool, what is they don't kwegamba babateekawo mu life eri hopeless. Ngate wa grandfather, they used to be very ambitious, mukitegeera. So please temubeera taken away by abantu abakomenting. Bajja kucriticize na post kati nga this topic that you have come up with, mukitegeera. So please don't be taken away by that. Nze ndiwo okubagumya because I've been here for years.
How can we move this movement forward? What can we do next?
Let me tell you something. We are the very first opposing party or opposing force that has got strategies in the diaspora. That has got mulabe Bobi Wine bw'aba atambula abaana ba foot soldier. Waliwo abakubira essimu okoya arranginga. So we are organized, my sister. We are organized. Kati abantu abali kuno abalina the same idea, me and you. Nze naawe namaze kukubira simu nti twogere the same words. So we are organized. That's why I'm telling you that we are organized. Kakati we are moving forward. We are moving forward. Umuntu gwe tulwanyisa is very strategic. He has the power. Yali yagula tear gas kati omulaba amututte Kenya. Abantu be Kenya balina evidence nti Museveni yabalwanyisa. Abantu be Kenya balina evidence nti Museveni
wanange.
Kati bwe bamala Museveni, they are coming to Uganda, and already Uganda there is a hidden force. Once they see anything, they will see Ochitegera. Yes, kati we are moving forward. Mwe mukusomesa abantu, mwongere okusomesa abantu, mwongere okusharinga video, mwongere okutapinga Ochitegera. Nenze I'm very proud of you guys. That's why nzija wano nembeera ngamba kolaki na contributing ana.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It really means a lot to me that you guys are here. It means a lot to me. Nari mani Micah think agenda kubeere younger. I just be talking to myself. I didn't anticipate abantu bagenda beera baagala okuwuliriza. I'm so grateful. It gives me so much hope. Mbera onenzigwamu amaanyi, but then I've been knowing my people are there. Tuli ku kimu tulowooza kimu. We have to do this thing. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.
Kale banange, have a nice day. Thank you for inviting me.
The China okumanya wafuse freedom fighter.
Okay, thank you, Jukira. I think I also have to. I have to leave.
What's up?
I have to leave as well. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
Okay, you too.
Thank you for being here.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Magato sebo jebali.
Ola mbugamba ki?
Tunaye tuli wano tutandika movement. We are going. We are towards independence.
Ebyogeddwa bingi naye nina kinadde njagala okwogerako emabega ku sensitization okusensitizing abantu. Olaba roundabout ye Wandegeya intersection eri very wide. Enguudo nnya luva Kampala mu town, Makerere University, luva ku Bbiri ku church, luva ku public service Mulago. The intersection is too wide, very difficult to negotiate the right of way. Era ndowooza buli lunaku batomererawo omuntu awo wa bodaboda bamutomera, emmotoka zitomeregana because of the confusion. Naye nze newaayo nenyimirira mu bapoliisi abapoliisi ababeerawo bafuba firimbi. Ne mbagamba nti muteeke ekipande ku nguudo zino ennya like kilomita kati Makerere ku main gate muteekewo ekipande nti traffic officer here, dangerous intersection, slow down. Ekirala bakiteeke wano ku YMC oba ku Bible House, ekirala bakiteeke wali ku public service, ekirala bakiteeke wali oba ku Shero ng'ova ku Bbiri. Abapoliisi sebo banvuma buvunu. bangamba ebyogenda bigambe state council sifa bw'obigamba ne mbagamba
ate bo balina ssente
mwe muyimiridde mu amuzi way emmotoka ziriko speed
bagenda tomeramu
nabaga bagenda tomeramu kati nze I had the confidence nga njogera nabo kati baali balowooza nti ndi mujega nga bali abalala ne mbagamba please this is your life nange ne bangamba tokutawanya gendo gamba state council ne mbagamba nti bwe najjanga kipande nja kubatomerera waawo bwe nabagamba kati n'entambula kati bw'otuuka ku main gate ya wandege ya police waliwo gana aguma ag'ebiggwa aguma ag'esigaga agayero gamanyi bagateeka
gundi mbadde siwulira them
bagateeka ku pavements crossings oluguudo negotiatinga boda kati n'obuuka n'olinya ka pavement oluguudo olugazi kati bateekawo ebyuma ebyo nga bitunudde waggulu ne bagamba lekite mubijja mu kkubo ne baŋŋamba tetuba tukola operation genda oyogere ne OC side traffic ne ŋŋendayo nali ne mugange kati bwe ntuuka ne munyonnyola naŋŋamba gweokolanga ne mugamba mu senior citizen kubanga nze almost 45 years ne bagamba mu senior citizen concerned for the safety of other pedestrian or road users naŋŋamba yabijjawo teyabijjawo the following day went back kati n'abijjawo bwadda ku Bombo Road eri ewattuba I don't know if you know that road ng'ogenda e Matugga ebyuma ebyo era baabiteeka mu kkubo ne bifunza oluguudo ate mu sides eriyo ebimotoka bya accidents awo ne nsangawo abapoliisi ne mbabeera bubi ne baŋŋamba abantu bakola akabenje nga tebeetegereza how they drive they deal with it bavugisa kimama ne mbagamba oluguudo lufunda trenches ziri open mutaddewo ebyuma waliwo sharp bend tewali sayini ebaala atinga nti mukoze road block expect from other road users above Sudan oba ba stranger like me nga ko mukyala n'aŋŋamba mukyala yali munyankole n'aŋŋamba jambe bigambe mukama waffe bye tebitugamba kati n'entambula because bali arrogant naye omusana gwali gwaka nnyo so I bought mineral water for them bwe mbagulira amazzi ne nga baweereza baaganywa abasamayinga era bwe nsimbula emmotoka bankubira n'ejjambo ne ŋŋamba laba abajjaga bano lwaki ndeesitengeni bannayuganda batono nnyo abasobola okubeera brave ng'ate its their rights okwapulotinga abantu abo nga bakutte ennungi kati obutamanyi obwo bwe bufugisizza gavumenti emyaka 4 obutamanyi obwo bwe butubbiza ssente z'omulimu w'omusolo bamember of parliament ne batubba nga tetumanyi where exactly the problem come from bw'otunuulira engeri gye tufiiriddwamu ssente taxpayers money oba national debt okugenda mu trillions and trillions of money where every penny is approved by member of parliament or by the parliament. Even the president comes back to the parliament to request to classify the budget, supplementary budget, or to approve certain bills. Kati bannayuganda balina obutamanya ate tuwuguka wakati ogenda n'abanga tuwugukira ku bintu ebitaliimu kakweta example ng'abayimbi kalogera n'olaba abaana nga baggulawo olutalo wakati wa alien skin ne Bob Wine nga balinga abalaga nti oba Bob Wine yali alemesa alien skin nti oba alien skin wa alina gy'abatwala naye ogenda okulaba nga obwongo bwe bunafu kati ekyo kyeyagala. So sensitizing the masses has to be done on these social media platforms. Abantu baffe bazuukuke naye abantu baffe balina obujega ate gavumenti eyagala babeere mu bujega obwo yesobola okugula ebbanga eddene ereeta ekintu ekibawugula ne baleka abantu ne baleka ekintu ekirina value for generation and generation to come ne bagendera ku kitaliimu. Wakati bw'otunula ngenda kukomyawo alien skin eyo lwala bw'otunula waliwo bogus kind of constitution eraga nti waliwo abalwanyisa alien skin oba nti aba people power balinga abalwanyisa alien skin oba nti nuku eringa erwanyisa alien skin kati olaba nga waliwo bogus competition naye nga bambi alien scheme talina kyagenda kuwa baana abo ne aba people power tebana kye bagenda kubawa wabula balina kwetegeerera bwetegeerezi nti ababbi abatufuga mu gavumenti tubajjeemu tutya tusobole okwetaasa embeera kubanga abantu abatufuga kojja akyogeddeko the fact abantu abatufuga abakutte obuyinza si bannayuganda bajja mu refugee camps okuva mu lutalo lw'e Rwanda olw'akajugujugu olwagoba bakayibanda ne bajja mu refugee camps obote wano n'abaluukuluutinga kati obote wano baabaluukuluutinga 71 bwe bajjako obote abasinga badduka ne bagenda wa e Tanzania era gye bava mu 79 ne badda erite ne beesimbawo leero selekiti ne bagenda mu nsiko 1990 bakagame baddayo naye abalala bansigala era ojja kwesanga nti sente ezisinga ze babba mu Uganda 30% egenda Rwanda kubanga Rwanda teganayo kyetunda naye mwemuwoza Rwanda developing Rwanda ekulaakulanye genda ku boda ebisira n'emalaba olaba oba waliwo container ezigenda ku mwale Mombasa ne Dar es Salaam nga zigenda za exports ziva Rwanda etunda ki Rwanda sente zijjawa amagye ga Uganda n'emmundu za Uganda n'essente za Uganda n'eddagala lya Uganda byebyakweka gavumenti eyo eri mu Rwanda ne bigize e Rwanda. It was Uganda's money and they never paid us back. And up to now, we are still funding those brothers and sisters in Rwanda. Kemuvabula bantu bo bakula. Eno ne muwoza bababbako sente abasajja bazibba bazitwala wa babba sente bazitwala wa. Much of the cash is stolen. Bogus. Part of the percentage goes to Kigali. Katiba
is there a way we can create a paper trail? Because me, I will do the research. You point me in the right direction to this company does this, but over there is no paper trail. There is nothing we can follow and highlight.
You know, corruption. Omuntu yena ali corrupt and making sure ntaleka out trace.
Now this is a lot of money they be stealing. They steal in the billions.
Yeah, kakati
go just disappear. There has to be a paper trail somewhere.
Anti webuze gwe sente gwe webuze butya fetukuze babba sente. Paka kati babba sente. Otegeera kati gwe bwenulira bakuzadde ku mulembe gwa Museveni. Nze Museveni yajja nina emyaka 5. Nkuze nkaddiye babba sente paka kati babba sente bw'otunulira kati kankuwa example. Olaba Cham Towers. Cham Towers yali UCB. UCB yali mu Rural Farmer Scheme ngerimu ebyapa by'Abaganda emitwalo 38. The government injected 70 billions. Sali musale kugula billion emu. Where did the 70 billions go? Plus the land titles which was in Cham Tower in Uganda Commercial Bank. Mwali mu treasury bills ezimachuwa kati obubbi obwo bwe weebuuze sente ze babba baziteeka wa wadde bazimbye apartments bazimbyako sente baziteeka wa. Part of the money goes to Rwanda. Rwanda is a landlocked country. Rwanda is a poor country. But Rwanda is improving, developing economically. Part of the money comes from Uganda to finance Rwanda's projects. Why? Because people in the Rwanda government and the people in the Ugandan government, they are brothers and sisters. And many of them, they belong to the land. Kati eno bali ku munyago. Kankuwa example. Waliwo minister omusamu Kuteesa. Omumanyi mukulu yange yaliko nalibo minister. Yatambulako n'addayo e Rwanda n'agamba agenze kulaba taata we baamuziika. I don't know if you saw that video.
I didn't see.
Yes, he went back. Naye nga mu 1980 yesimbawo oba Mbalala West oba Sembabule yesimbawo ku bwemupi era yawulira President Museveni nga wa DP. Mu 1980 ye yali lawyer wa DP nga awolereza Ssemwogerere. Mu 1985 nga Lutwa awambye gavumenti ye yali Antenopino wa gavumenti ya Lutwa. But 2 years ago he went back to Rwanda n'agamba taata wange baamuziike ne yali mu buwulizi wange. So a lot of things have to be done. Sensitized bamanye obubbi era tumanye lwaki batubba kubanga abantu abatubba bagwi ate balina okutubba why bwe bali bajja mu buyinza batta abantu. I'm sure you know what we call the Luwero Triangle.
Yes.
Luwero Triangle bagenda mu nsiko abantu 5,500 baafa. Ate olina okumanya nti abayeekera baali ba mirundi ng'esatu oba ena waaliwo Kayiira Nkwanga. Kayiira yali mukono eri ewaffe nga gyali. Naye gwe weebuuze lwaki abantu eyo tebaafa nnyo ne basinga kufa Luweero? Why? Because people who were in the power killed massively to make sure that they blame the current government by that time. Kati ne bajja ne bakwata obuyinza. Kati bamala ekyo ne bagamba Abaganda mmwe muyimiridde. Era ky'oba olaba baali very busy grabbing land from Central Region. Very busy grabbing land. Why? Nti kati bajjayo emirandira. Waliwo ayogedde awo alese isi ya Kabaka. Kati laki naawe n'Abaganda tebamanyi Kabaka gyali.
Kati abantu abali kuno ku live abasinga bato tebabijjukira ebya when they went to the bush. So we don't remember the things of the Luwero Triangle of also like a summary, a very quick, and you go into that story so that people know the gravity of what this looks like, so that they know.
Okay.
We need to do this thing before it reaches to the part of violence. Because violence was ugly. So we need to go, we need to do the personal responsibility to when you see an intersection that is unsafe, speak up. When you see what, speak up. The more we speak up, the more we educate each other. But there are things that we can do now before we go into the streets. But anyway, let's hear the story about this.
Okay. I'm going to be brief. Museveni started the guerrilla war in 1971. Now creating a foreign-nation. Yalukulutinga Abanyarwanda bangi nnyo abaali abatuusi by that time nga Barwejema, Babujenyezi, mentioned by few. Mu 1979 ng'ali n'ekyama ky'amapinduzi amagye Tanzania. Naye amagye ga Tanzania ago gaali gakomyawo Obote naye gakulembeza Professor Yusuf Kironde-Lule because Obote Abaganda twali twamukyawa olw'okuba nti yawaŋŋangusa Kabaka n'awamba n'olubiri 66. Professor Yusuf Kironde-Lule was on the front line. 1980 Lule yafuga emyezi 3 nga President Museveni ye defense minister. Era ye yalagira amagye okumuwamba because yali alina okumukuuma. 1980 tugenda mu elections. The man lost. Naye olw'ensonga nti yalina amagye ga Folonassa emitwalo kumpi ng'ebiri yalina backup. Ekyokubiri yali defense minister. Emmundu yazirina. Bino byagamba abantu mbu yatandika n'emmundu 27 is a lie. He was the Minister of Defense and he had the manpower. Era yayita mu Mbalala Western Access Embalala. Era Embalala eyo abasiraamu bangi Abaganda abaafa. Embalala nakati bakyaboogerako basukka mu 13 ne babasuulanga mu muggaga gwa Lwizi, River Lwizi. Kati 81 n'ayingira ensiko. Ensiko mwenna mukimanyi nti Mene died. 86 n'akapitalinga power up to today. Naye when he captured the power, jukira genda olabe ka video ku YouTube aka 1988. Ojja kulaba nga President Museveni awa normal army ranks ajiwa abaali abayekera mu kiseera ekyo 1988. President Habyarimana the late was the chief guest. Kuwa Eric Mwine nazaako Fred Gita Rwejema yafaddayo e Rwanda. Ojja kulaba nti bwe yali awa Amerance abasinga bonna baali Banyarwanda. So since then up to today we are under captivity. Abanoza nabo babateekamu olutalo emyaka 3.
Babateekamu olutalo and now olutalo luli health. Babateekamu ebirwadde.
Babateekamu olutalo emyaka 3 katulina okumanya nti from 86 omwana eyali mu P1 eyali mu P2 eyali mu P7 eyali mu P6 eyali mu S1 mu Northern Uganda yakomaawo no education bali hopeless sick jobless no future aba banodana wano mu centro tuli obukunkumuka because bills zonna zikutukira mu kibuga naye ettaka kati lye bagwira because gyemirandira abaliwo ab'emyaka gyammwe kati mwenna muggwera mu Middle East okimanyi nti bw'ogenda mu Middle East n'omalayo emyaka 5 ogenda okudda e Uganda ng'ate olinga lifigi mu Uganda mu Middle East obadde mu kiyumba ne Uganda oli mu kiyumba tosobola kubeera mu Middle East n'obeera mu kiyumba n'ogula poloti ya millioni za 5 after 5 years you can't otegeera kati ogenda okudda ng'olina gula 5 ku 2 tekaliiko kyapa kakati bano abasigala abatono bo abali mu kintu emirimu bagigabana every police post mu Uganda ekulibwa mu Western googling most of public enterprises ziri mu Uganda 50% ziri headed by people from West, meaning that the rest of the tribes are marginalized systematically. Otegeera kakati ebintu ng'ebyo okuggyako ng'abantu bali sensitized ku platforms nga zino bwe bajja okupeyinga attention.
I think that the funny thing is, even those people, the people from the West who own the things, they are like 10% of the people from the West.
Yes.
And they give them things. Then the rest of them, they just be in the villages. Like when you look at the road, someone was mentioning it here. When you look at the main road in the West, it seems like it's nice. But then you're in the hills, to reach up the hill, or you're seeing down like this. You miss one step, your car plummets down the mountain. They haven't built roads there, they haven't built schools there. The people in my village, they have to walk kilometers to reach the hospitals when they are pregnant.
Kati nze kankugambeyo ekintu ekirako mulala ayogere bw'ogenda Bwindi National Park oba Impenetrable National Park Bwindi tebalina wadde clinics naye ng'omuzungu ogenda okulambula amaziko ago asasula $8 ayisasula wali kwa wildlife ekamoja ezo wazireka eri abambuti ne basigala nga tebalina masomero tebalina nguudo tebalina malwaliro. What kind of struggle is that?
The things are bad. We have to take things into our own hands.
Ono omusajja wa Uganda simanyi MP yawukanya billion 164 billions. Just one man. N'ogenda Mulago Hospital onalabye kati oyali director wa Mulago Hospital yabula billion 29. So in short, Bannayuganda baconcentrating ennyo ku member of parliament baffe bano betulonda betulina okunyigiriza ku byalo ne mu constituencies because one be balina obukiiko bukosasa obunyonyereza be ba-approving budgets be ba-approving bills be ba-approving national budget be bayisa budget. But if they cannot follow up our taxes, let us turn against them. Kubanga ne president sente alisaba member of parliament amateeka gonna ge babaga ag'ekimpatiira aba member of parliament be batebolinga bills ezo president yaloka nezifuuka amateeka agatufuga. Let us turn against them. Nga bwolaba bannakenya bwe balumbye parliament Ruto n'agamba bannange I'm giving up. And the government cannot protect those members of parliament in our constituencies. It cannot provide enough security because one, they are many. Secondly, they are on the ground, they are with us because they are our sons and daughters. Museveni ayinza okumala emyaka 10 nga tazze mu constituency yammwe naye member of parliament ne babeera wa NRM alina okujja tukuba abo tubanga emmere ku mikolo tetubanjula mu church tetubayita mu nnyimbe tetubawa busindaalo okwogera because they are the sons.
Yes.
Olaba kutogikwatako togikwatako abantu baali against togikwatako and member of parliament bonna baabo banywera amazzi.
We need to go back to that.
We need to go back to the member of parliament. Member of parliament be bayisa bogus bills be bayisa supplemental and classified budgets kati sofa badini saga ya mpuuga otegeera kati lwaki omuwa omuzindaalo ku kyalo ng'akubbye ne mumutendereza ne mumuwa effumu mwe ne mugamba nti ssente bazisa mu mateeka kankuwa ekisembayo olaba eyali former vice president sekandi yali mp yali vice president yaliko deputy speaker of parliament yali speaker of parliament yali president advisor sekandi alina nssf naye bwe yawummula buli kifo ky'emasonings kyamuwa emmotoka ne kimuwa ne ssente palamenti nga gyeyisa ssente ezo era kyobola batugamba mu mpuuga ssente yazifuna mu mateeka ssente baazisa mu palamenti tukubera member of parliament members mwena abali ku platform bwe munaatandika against parliamentarians aba mp they will not pass those bogus budgets to indebit us or to squeeze us financially.
Waliwe yasabye mbu we get an assignment for everyone to do, we get deadlines. The assignment is to isolate the thieves, to give them high blood pressure, whatever you need to do from where you are. Your duty to the nation is to make sure that the thieves are not, that they cannot even walk anywhere. We shouldn't come to our weddings, they cannot give speeches. When they come to visit you, those people are your servants. Go and do something for you.
Jukira. A member of parliament. Oba omutunya akutwalira ebirowoozo byo era agenda akurepresenting. Is your servant, you are the master. And since you are the master, you have to demand accountability. Kati bannayuganda ekyo tebakiraba bawoza ow'ekitiibwa oli n'ayogerako ne Muhammad Nsereko n'olaba nga ali excited n'ogamba Nsereko akuwadde ki? Just to talk to him.
To your servant.
Your servant. Oli n'agamba abo abaana ba Nuupu bavuma. Jjukira omuntu asobola okuvuma ebigambo 100 talina kyakuggyako. Naye omuntu senga akuggyako ssente n'akuggyako w'osula n'akumma omulimu n'akumma education n'akumma eddwaliro oba omaze okugongobala. Kakati bo kye batukola kati bo ne bagamba nti abo bavuma tukole ki? Bali abali mu buyinza bo bakwata mundu ne batta abantu. Kati ffe tukole ki? Tuli hopeless, tuli desperate, tuli jobless. No hope. What do you expect us to do? How can we express our anger towards you thugs? We don't have guns, we cannot grab machetes and hurt you. What do you expect? Because you are thugs.
Exactly. Kubavuma community isolation. Kubanga jeswava, that's what they used to do. When you do something shameful in community, teri ayagala kweriranya. But today, you steal money, then everyone is kissing you out.
Ntize ndi musajja wa Kabaka ow'ekitiibwa muvvoola abantu muvvoola ab'ebitiibwa olwakanga omaze okumuzibanga ngongobadde
nateeka n'akabaga ak'okumwebaza okubba ssente.
Jjukira
naye kaswala nze yansobera
bannajjunyo balaba
n'ayita ne Katikkira mubeererewo kabaga ke ak'okubba ssente naye jabu
Museveni bwe yali ayeekera munnaddiini gwe bayita Pope Kivengere yali archbishop oba bwambalala bati mbalala something Pope Kivengere wanakukuta Nsubuga Banisaire Kawuma Basekeraji Kakooza Bakakungulu abo baali basiraamu abantu abo bonna baali against Ombotezi regime because of the brutalities Ombotezi yateeka ku Baganda tugeze oba ku bantu naye bannakati akati batuuza bishop ku ntebe pulezidenti n'amukwasa ebituluzo bya Pulado oyo tafaayo bamukubya abantu kitiya gas oba bakubya abantu oba bakoze eki oyo bishop abagajja kuva mu kigambo in fact babishopu baleero abamu babeera n'emmundu ne weebuuza gwe omuntu wa Katonda ekikutambuza n'emmundu kiki waliwo Fadde yafa bwe yafa abasirikale ne banona pisco tulinawo ebintu byaffe ne banonawo emmundu mu nnyumba Fadde ki ekikubeeza n'emmundu
bafaaze ennaku zino balina n'abaana kuba tokimanyi
ekyo ekyabaana kireke naye Fadde ki ekikubeeza n'emmundu
bakitegeera nti the country is not safe but they're not willing to speak up for the people. They're just
munadini bw'otaayogere, who do you expect?
Kati bannaze nze mbadde nze ndowooza ku bino byonna ebiriwo bannayuganda ffe bennyini ffe abalina okwebbulula okuva mu mutego ogw'omulabe waffe Museveni. Nze nteesa bwe nti Museveni yateeka fiya mu bannayuganda. Jo yabadde ayitanga alina gy'ava yabadde ava saidize hoyi masimanyi naye nakulabidde embeera bannayuganda mwe bali. Basibye first of all emmotoka traffic for about a whole hour nga teri motoka etambula ku Hoima Road. Afterwards jam akaseera ako nga basibye emmotoka ng'olaba abantu bonna banyogovu. You know, president w'abantu w'eggwanga okuyita naye ng'olaba buli omu munyogovu. No one is smiling, no one is talking. Ng'olabye ddala abantu abali mu fear. Kati abantu be nabaddemu omu abamu ne bageza kugamba balinga aboogera negative about Museveni. N'oli oli nagamba gwe toyogera ojja tuleeta ebizibu wano. But that is all fear. Kakati bannayuganda balinga enkoko gye basibye okuva ku lugendo oluwanvu tugambe ng'eggulu nga bagyeta Kampala nga yo emanyi nsibe ne bw'ogituusa n'ogisumulula esigala ewulira ng'ekyali nsibe. Kyova olaba mu kaseera kano osanga bannayuganda bangi nnyo tebagana kugera ku byabufuzi. Era oli akugamba nze TikTok yange eno ngikozesa nnyo okwogera ku nsonga eziruma bannayuganda. Naye bwe nali mbitandika omuntu omu yankubira essimu, mukwano gwange is my cousin era my friend, nankubira essimu n'agamba lwaki otandise okwogera ku bintu by'obufuzi bijja kuleetera obuzibu. Naye ne ngamba why are we locked into that kind of cage? Eddagala lirimu bannayuganda. Kambawo ka story kamu.
Waliwo ali okumbuuza what happened to my account. Byanyumya, that's what happened to my account. I posted about the budget n'entandika okufuna esimu ez'okumukumu bannayuganda bannaffe nga be bansi.
Exactly. Kamba nyumizeyo ka story kamu kenalaba.
Nengamba, oh my God, I was getting so much information that Nemhamba, let me first pause this account for a second and I first think.
Kakati.
Why must I live in fear? Why must I be scared? So now I'm back. So,
Kaka, way forward is here. Way forward. Ngenda kuba way forward in form of a story. A true story yaliwo ebiseera bya COVID. Omanye ebiseera ebyo nga tebakkiriza ba boda ku exceeding a certain time like 5 o'clock. Kakati obudde bwatuka ababoda nga baluddeyo gye bagenze around nga mu Lubijjaawo mu round about ye Lubijjaawo. Kati obudde nga buyise abasirikale nga bagumbye wali bateeze. Kakati bo ne basala amagezi ne beebulungula mu kifo kimu ababoda nga bakimanyi bogenda omu bakwata. Kati bo ne bagamba tubeere wano ffenna tubeere bantu nga baboda nga bibiri. Then to setting off at once. Era bwe batoyo bakola be baweranga bangi ne bagamba kati tugende bonna ne basetting off at once. So abasirikale ne babulako n'omu gwe bakwatako. Why? Bonna bagenze lumu. Kakati naffe wano bwe tunakosa TikTok zaffe zino ne tugamba nti omukyalo ono I use your name Jukira. You use Jukira, let me call you that. Nti bwe bamanya nti ono yavaayo n'ayogera ku by'obufuzi bajja kunoonyayo omukyalo oyo bamukole byonna bye baagala kubanga yavuddeyo. Naye ffenna singa tutandika okwogera ku bintu bino bajja kubulwako n'omuntu omu gwe bakola ki gwe ba picking out, because all of us are speaking about issues ebiruma abantu ebituluma ffenna. Ekyo kimu. Akati waliwo n'ensonga waliwo ayogedde ku ba MPs baffe. Museveni yamanya nti amaanyi gali mu kubeeramu amaanyi g'okufuga eggwanga gali mu parliament okukyusa amateeka byonna byonna ebinaamuyamba okwekuumira mu buyinza biva mu parliament n'asalawo n'atemaatema constituencies mu bifo by'amanyi nti bamuwagira era kyova olaba nze ndi mu Wakiso naye Wakiso mulimu constituencies as big as vast as you see Wakiso. How many constituencies are there? Until they only 4?
Only.
But if I think they're only 4. But you find a very small district in the west. But you're just slicing nga nekyali badde ekyalo akifuula constituency. Why? Akimanyi nti abantu beeyo bambi mu bwavu bwe balimu nabo, by those people are poor. Those people are poor because my wife comes from that side, but they are very poor. But for them, they just support Museveni anyhow. Some of them are changing, but they are joining the revolution. But they are very poor. But however poor they are, they still want line up behind Museveni. One time I met an askari this side where I stay. When he saw me, he came and asked me, my brother, you can give me 1,000. I'm doing badly. Then I had the accent. I told you, my brother, when I hear your accent, I know where you're coming from. But why are you supporting this guy, Museveni, when you can't even afford a bottle of water? You're asking for 1,000. The way you're speaking your English, it seems you have even started up to S4. But the only job you can do is askari, and you're still lining up behind this man. Why don't you stand with those who are in the revolution and we change the government so that do you know that in some countries an askari is earning 1 million shillings? In some countries. But why is it so that here in Uganda askari afuna mitwalo 15? But we are capable of living a better life.
The design is to keep us poor, to keep us in a bigger position.
So bannange bannayuganda abamaze okuzibuka amaaso, oba oli Munyankole, oba oli Mukiga, oba oli Musoga. I'm just proud of my people from Busoga. For them bo bategeera. Abo bali batukumira nyima beganeka right now. For them they are now awake. Kati banaye tukubira omulango abava mu west banaye muzuukuke tukwatire wamu Uganda yaffe ffenna.
I am coming here. We have come. Tuzukusi.
Waliwo abatambuza sentiment eno nti Kyagulanyi bw'anajja agenda kuleta tribalism mu Uganda. Kino nakyo kankiiseewo. Banange, it is very impossible for any tribal sentiments to work